Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
So I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
If someone practices the Krishna consciousness every day,
Yeah.
and due to some reason, if they don't remember in that 10 seconds of time, then
Yeah. Now, as I mentioned before, right? If somebody practices remembering Krishna during their lifetime, and at the time of death, if they are not able to remember Krishna for some reason, either their physical mental condition is not helping them remember, or some unexpected death or coma, whatever may be the situation. But if a person has performed devotional activities during the life, and if they practiced remembering Krishna during their lifetime, Krishna will guarantee them to remember Krishna.
There is a verse in the Bhagavad Gita. Similar question.
Mm-hmm.
What if somebody deviates? They do some devotion service and then...
No, that is different. The context is different. Because if somebody has not achieved perfection in this lifetime, what is their destination? So when Arjuna asks that question in 6th chapter, so then Krishna says, those people, they will be given a second chance. In the next life, they'll be given a good birth, either in an aristocratic family, so that they don't have to worry about financial things and they can fully focus on devotional activities. Or they'll take birth as a devotee in a devotee family, so that their devotional service starts from day one of their birth.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they can fall, either they could perform some devotion service for some time, and they can fall down. That's one scenario. And then second scenario is maybe they continued, but they not perfected to be liberated. So I think maybe we won't be able to remember Krishna, because if you remember Krishna, then
now if somebody has achieved perfection, then definitely Krishna will help them remember Krishna at the time of death. Even if their physical and mental condition is not supporting, Krishna will help that person remember. That's why Kulshekar Alwal, so he, in his Mukundamala Stotra, so he wrote, it's a nice prayers actually. So he wrote saying that, Krishna, my physical condition is proper now. I'm healthy. I'm in good health. I can focus all my senses and mind on you. So please take my soul away now. Please give me death now, so that I can remember you and come back to you. When such a great devotee like Kulshekar Alwar, he spoke like that. So what is our situation? Definitely there is a lot going on at the time of death, right? In the old age, and when somebody dying of some sickness, Alzheimer. Yeah. But if during the lifetime, if they have practiced remembering Krishna, then they will surely remember Krishna.
Now, Prabhuji, what would actually mean to remember Krishna? Like, for example, like I'm attending this class, right? Now, whenever we attend a class, or we listen to a bhajan, or we listen to a shlok, once we are done with it, then we engage in a different service, in a different work, a different environment. There's a lingering effect. It will not be like just gone. There's a lingering effect. It carries on like a chain reaction. So I'm done with this class. Now I'm going home, and something happens and I'm dying. Okay. Now, in that moment, what is the correct way to remember? Do I need to remember Krishna as in Krishna as probably the deities, or do I need to remember Krishna like, okay, I was sitting here and we were talking about Krishna? Is that the right way? Like, what's the right way to remember Krishna?
Either Krishna or anything belonging to Krishna. It could
So
be
if
Krishna
I'm
devotees.
imagining a temple, that's fine.
Yes.
Or
Could
not
be
imagining, rather remembering a temple.
remembering.
I will not be an insect in the temple.
No.
Even the sound itself, Krishna. So the sound itself, if you experience sound, is equivalent to deity and equivalent to Krishna.
Oh, that,
Yeah. So anything Krishna or his belongings.
His belongings.
Yeah.
Anything that belongs.
Yes.
No.
Anything related to Krishna. His devotees, his paraphernalia, anything. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, anything.
This is a very interesting point. So what we are concentrating is that at the time of that we need to focus on the superior energy of Krishna, not the inferior.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the inferior energy is mostly material.
Material. Yeah.
So if I'm remembering a car, that means that does not mean I'm remembering Krishna, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah. Superior energy.
Superior energy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, if you remember the chariot that Krishna drove,
that's fine.
Yeah, that is fine.
Because
even though it's
Krishna present physically.
Yeah. So, okay, so chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. So any points from anyone from chapter 9? Most confidential.
Prabhu.
Aparna, yes.
So I'm looking at my notes.
Okay.
So this is a Rajavidya Ragaguhyam yoga where Krishna's, like a king of knowledge. So he's basically telling that, he is the supreme personality. And if you are, dedicating your thoughts and actions towards him, then you will attain, ultimate like liberation. Don't waste your time on basically going, serving the demigods, and if you're pleasing them, you'll be in the material existence, and you want to, offer water, leaf, flower. You can do that, as simple as that, and you can attain Krishna basically as a sum of it.
Okay. Yeah, very good.
Krishna explains the process of Bhakti Yoga.
Process of Bhakti Yoga. Excellent. Yeah.
There are two slokas, 9:22 and the 18th chapter, which glorifies the Bhagavad Gita.
9:22
9:22
or 9.2?
9.22.
9.2. Rajavidya Rajaguhya Pavitram Idamuttamam
Yeah.
Pratyakshavagam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. Yeah, 9.2.
Yeah, that one is there.
No. Oh, 9.2. Ananyas Chintayantoma.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
18th chapter, I believe it's
Manmana Bhavan Bhakto. That verse. Yeah. Charma Shloka. Yeah.
Those are the two top slokas.
Yeah. So, as Aparna and Kiran said, in 9th chapter, Krishna gives the process of Bhakti Yoga. The process of Bhakti Yoga, that's most confidential. Okay, so there is Guhya, Guhyatara, Guhyatamam. Okay, Guhya is confidential. Guhyatara is more confidential. Guhyatamam is most confidential. So this chapter 9 is Guhyatamam, most confidential. Because Krishna is explaining the relation between Krishna and living entities. So in chapter 7, he spoke about Krishna. And then chapter 8, how to remember Krishna at the time of death and go back to Krishna. So chapter 9, Krishna tells the relationship between Krishna and living entities and how the living entities can perform Bhakti Yoga to please Krishna. So 9.26, the famous verse, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati Tadaham Bhaktyupahrutam Ashnami Prayatatmanah. If you offer a fruit, flower, leaf, or water with love and devotion, I will accept it. So bhakti is so simple. It doesn't have to be very opulent with opulent ingredients. It can be very simple, as simple as water, flower, fruit, etc. Because Krishna is not looking for the ingredients that we are offering. He is looking for the love in those ingredients. He possesses everything. He doesn't need the offerings from us. He's only looking for the love in those ingredients. So if we offer those ingredients with love and devotion, Krishna accepts. But if somebody cannot do that, if somebody cannot offer even these simple things with love and devotion, then whatever you do in the next verse, Krishna says, 9.27, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yadjuhosi tapat yadjuhosi. No, Yat karoshi yadashnasi yadjuhosi dadasi yat tapasvasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpadam. So Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, or whatever austerities you perform, do those as an offering to me. So that means you are not able to offer anything with love and devotion, but do it as a formality. What Krishna is saying is, just perform those offerings as a formality. So you buy new clothes, just offer to Krishna as a formality. If you have some feelings, that's better. Otherwise, develop a habit of offering things to Krishna. Okay, slowly you will develop feelings.
You said
medicine. Yeah, so look at his stage. Now he did not start offering medicine right from day one, right?
Yeah.
So from day one, maybe he offered clothes or pens, pencils, books, those things. But as he kept on offering everything to Krishna, then one fine day he started offering everything and all things, including medicine, including medicine and shoes. So Krishna does not take those medicine. I mean, he does not need those medicine, but it's the sincerity of this devotee to offer everything to Krishna before he consumes anything. So gradually, if somebody does that, gradually they will develop feelings, love and devotion for Krishna. And then Krishna explains more about himself, how he pervades this entire universe. How he pervades this entire universe. So he starts telling about his opulences a little bit. Okay. And then he gives that Charama Shloka, Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru Mame Vaishvasi Satyam Te Pratijani Priyosime. So focus your mind on me, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. If you do that, you will come back to me, Krishna says. The same verse Krishna repeats in chapter 18. That's a Charama Shloka of Bhagavad Gita. There are two Charama Shlokas. One is Manmana Bhava Madbhakto, that is there in chapter 9 and chapter 18. And then Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. That shloka comes in 18th chapter. Okay.
So Charma
Shloka means any Shastra, like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, any Shastra, they have Charama Shlokas. Like the most important or the concluding messages of that Shastra. Yeah. So from Bhagavad Gita, it is these two verses, Manmana Bhavat Madbhakto and Sarvadharman Parityaja. These are the ultimate instructions of Krishna. Charma Shloka means ultimate instructions of Krishna. Yeah. Anything else from chapter 9? I think that's it at a high level. Okay, then chapter 10. Chapter 10, Krishna says, okay, I have given you some knowledge of my opulences. Now let me give you more knowledge about my opulences. Let me give you more knowledge about my opulences. And then Krishna starts telling about his opulences in greater detail. In chapter 10, opulences of the Absolute, Vibhuti Yoga, Krishna's Vibhuti Yoga. Krishna tells how one should appreciate the greatest and the mightiest things in this world. Krishna takes different segments and he tells that the best in that segment is me. The best in each of those segments is me. Of all the elephants, I am the Airavata. Of all the immovable things, I am Himalayas. Of all the mountains, I am Mount Meru. Of all the priests, I am Brihaspati. And of all serpents, I am Vasuki. And of all the yajnas, I am Japa. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. Of all the yajnas, I am japa yajna. So chanting of the holy name, Krishna is telling in this verse here in chapter 10, japa is chanting the holy name. So that yajna is the topmost yajna, topmost sacrifices of all sacrifices. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi. I don't remember the word number. Let me look it up.
That book is
I think
more thicker,
10.25.
larger text.
Yeah, the text is bigger and also. Yeah, 10.25. Maharshinam Briguraham Giram Asmekam Aksharam Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi Stavaranam Himalaya.
When Krishna was explaining this to Arjuna, and he said, of all the snakes, I'm Vasuki. Why didn't he say, of all the snakes, I'm Shesh or Adishesh?
He's talking about things in the material world, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So Adishesh is not in the material world.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is another shloka in the 10th chapter.
Naganam Anantascha. There is a mention of Vasuki also.
Vasuki is also there. Naga is also there. Sarpanam Vasuki and Naganam.
Okay. But there is a mention of Anantara also, right? Yeah. Okay, let me look. Naganam Anantaschosmi. Huh?
$29.
29?
Yeah.
Anantaschasmi Naganam Varuno Yadasamaham Pitrunam Aryama Chasmi Yama Samyatama Maham. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta, and I am among the aquatics. I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among dispensers of law, I am Yama, the lord of death. Of the many hooded Nagas, I am Ananta. Okay, so he's not only talking about the things in the material world, everything, even spiritual world also. Yeah.
So he's in the two different shlokas, he's covering two inferior and superior.
Yeah, majority of them in the material world, because the purpose is Krishna is telling details of his Vibhuti Yoga, so that we can, whenever we see these in the material world around us, we get remembrance of Krishna. That's the purpose. So, yeah. So I don't know the significance why Krishna is also telling about, let's see, Prabhupada writes anything. Among the many hooded Naga serpents, Ananta is the greatest, as is the demigod Varuna among aquatics. They both represent Krishna. There is also planet of Pita's ancestors presided over by Aryama, who represents Krishna. There are many living entities. Okay, online people, they cannot see, right? Let me share. There are many living entities who give punishment to the miscreants, and among them, Yama is the chief. Yama is situated in a planet near the earthly elephant. After death, those who are very sinful are taken there, and Yama arranges different kinds of punishments for them. Yeah, so all these are in the material world, except the Ananta Shesha. No.
Difference between
Nagas
and Sarpas, right?
Yeah, that is a different verse. Sarpanam Vasuki something, right? Yeah, that is a different one.
So in each category is explaining what is the topmost.
Yeah, the topmost, he is saying, I am that. So
I think now the more, I don't know, powerful than stuff, I guess. I don't know.
no, Naga he's mentioning here in this verse. Okay, that verse we are looking at. Naganam Anantaschasmi. So there, that is Sarpas. Yeah. He could have combined both, but I don't know. There is a significance why, how he mentioned. Yeah, there is a significance, definitely. Yeah. There is a significance.
Vasuki is the serpent around Shiva's neck.
No.
Vasuki is the king also. Actually, I think Adishesh and Vasuki are brothers.
I don't know those details.
I'm not 100% sure on this.
So I don't know where Vasuki is embodied. Definitely not Lord Shiva. Definitely not Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva is like Nagas. Lord Shiva has Nagas.
Nagas are there. Yeah, Nagas.
Probably. Yeah.
That this Nagas and hooded Nagas means that it's hooded snake like.
Yeah.
Like cobra, for example. Not all snakes have hoods. Like for example, viper snake, they don't have.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So we'll discuss this some other time. And then
Is this 10.29?
10 point
Yes.
Yeah, 29, 10.29. Yeah. About Ananta Shesha. Yeah. So now after hearing all this from Krishna, Arjuna asks in chapter 11, universal form, Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga. Arjuna asks to show all these opulences in one place. Arjuna says, I would like to see, actually before that, after hearing all these opulences, in chapter 10, Arjuna concludes saying that you are the supreme, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adidevam Ajam Vibhum, Ahustvam Vishaya Sarve, Devarshi Naradastada. Rishilo, there is another verse, okay? Asito Devalo Vyasa, Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Yeah.
No one can explain the meaning of yourself.
Yes. Yeah. So you are the supreme, so Arjuna starts glorifying Krishna with all these prayers. Okay. After hearing all this vibhuti. Then Arjuna asks, I would like to see all these opulences in one place. Can you please show me? You said you, with your single fraction of your potency, you pervade this entire universe. So I would like to see that. Arjuna asks. Then Krishna shows universal form. So chapter 11 is very beautiful, even though it appears like, in one sense, it might appear like insignificant when compared to the rest of the chapters in Bhagavad Gita, because it's what Krishna showing his universal form, right? And devotees, we are not interested in universal form. And it mostly appears as if there is a, what do you call that? There is a list of things described in his universal form. Okay. So it may not appear like an important chapter, so to say, but it's very beautiful. Towards the end, Krishna says, I have already killed all these soldiers. Now you just pick up the bow and fight. Become an instrument, get up and fight, and take the credit that you have killed all these people and you enjoy the kingdom. So it's so beautiful, like a child, we discussed that, right? Like a child, when he's trying to lift a heavy mountain and he's not able to do that with his, ability. And then the father, looking at the sincere attempt of the child, he goes behind the heavy rock and then he pushes The child does not notice that the father pushes the big rock, and the child thinks as if he is doing everything, and he gets the pride, and he gets the satisfaction that he has done everything. Now Krishna is doing the same thing, that he has done everything, but he's telling Arjuna that, okay, I have already killed these people, but you just get up and fight and take the credit and enjoy the kingdom. So that shows how compassionate he is towards his devotees. That shows his, his sweetness. Even the chapter is universal form, kind of horrifying towards the end, when Krishna shows his Kalarupa, the fierceful Kalarupa form. Because Arjuna could see all these soldiers getting trapped in his mouth like insects, just like fireflies, entering the fire, mouth of the fire, and then dying instantly. All these soldiers, they are entering the fire of the fire of death and dying instantly. And then immediately Arjuna asks, I'm not able to see your form any longer. Please withdraw this and show me your Saumya Rupa. Then Krishna withdraws that and then shows his 400 form, and then he shows the 200 form also. Yeah, it's a beautiful chapter. Especially the meter, the shlokas are sung. It's very beautiful. They're very melodious. It can attract anyone, even the new person who is not interested in Bhagavad Gita. It can attract them. So we're going to do all this next month during Gita Jayanti. Yeah. So we'll do several things on Gita Jayanti day, December 3rd. So Gita Jayanti is the day when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of Kurukshetra 5,000 years ago.
What do we do on that day?
So we're going to celebrate 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. So there are 2 girls, 13 and 14 years old girls, who memorized all the shlokas, 700 shlokas. So they're going to recite the shlokas in the temple. And then in the evening, Saturday, I'm going to lead the recitation. Everybody will be there. I'm going to lead the recitation, and everybody will also. I will read one line, and then, audience will read the second line. Like that, we'll read all 18 chapters, all 700 shlokas. And then Sunday, Harilas Maharaj will lead that, and then we all will sit and we will recite together. Yeah. I'm also planning to do some games like Antakshari on Bhagavad Gita shlokas, or some quiz maybe, quiz on Bhagavad Gita.
Quiz is better, I guess.
Yeah. Couple of years ago, we did nice things actually. I asked different devotees to prepare presentations on different chapters. Like chapter 1, one person presents, chapter 2, another person, like that. So 18 families, they presented nice presentations. I'll share that video, that old video in the group. It was very nice. So I prepared nice t-shirts for everyone. Yellow color, nice Bhagavad Gita. There is Krishna, the Bhagavad Gita theme picture on the front, and then different shloka on the back. I printed like, I think 500 t-shirts. So 500 t-shirts, each t-shirt had a different shloka. So, yeah. So they are very expensive also, because printing the same shloka on every t-shirt is same. It doesn't cost much. But different t-shirt, different shlokas, yeah, it was very expensive. But yeah, people liked it. So we did those celebrations for 4 days actually. There are 18 families presenting on 18 chapters. It took really long. Each family spent like 1 hour. So we needed like 18 hours. We spent 3-4 days doing all these presentations. It was very nice. Maybe something like that we can do with the new set of people. No. Yeah. Okay, I'll think about that. Okay, that was chapter 11. And chapter 12. Chapter 12 is devotional service, Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna explains the different rungs on the Bhakti Yoga ladder in a descending order. It starts with topmost rung to the bottommost rung. The topmost rung is to fix his mind upon Krishna and always think of him. That is the topmost stage. But if somebody is not able to do that, then Krishna asks them to work for them. Right?
Follow the regulative principles.
Follow the regulative principles. Yes. Yeah. So the first one is Raganuga Bhakti, spontaneous love. You should be developing love spontaneously for Krishna. You should exhibit love for Krishna spontaneously, like how gopis did that. Raganuga Bhakti. If somebody cannot do that, then why the sadhana bhakti? You follow regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga and then start developing bhakti. Start developing love for Krishna, prema for Krishna. If you cannot do that, then the third one is you work for Krishna. And if you cannot work for Krishna, then you donate some of the money to Krishna. Give away the results of your work to Krishna. That's the fourth stage. Even if you cannot do that, then the fifth one is cultivate knowledge. That's the lowest one. So Krishna is giving opportunity to all kinds of people based on their capacity and their ability, what they can do, because not everybody can achieve perfection in one life, right? Somebody may take 1,000 lifetimes, somebody can take millions of lifetimes, somebody can go back to Krishna in one life, somebody can go back to Krishna multiple times in one life.
Correct.
Is it possible?
Yes.
To go back to Krishna multiple times in one life?
Yes. Why not?
Is it possible?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is it possible?
Why not?
Once we go to Krishna, then there is no birth and rebirth.
But Prabhupada is saying you go to Krishna, not go to the plane where Krishna is. He's not talking about go to. He's talking about where Krishna is. You can go multiple times to Krishna in one life by sadhana and consciousness, meditation. See, if he would have said go to Gokul and come back, then I would say no.
So yeah. So what does it mean when we say a person? So this is a question asked to Prabhupada. So somebody asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, is it possible to go back to Krishna in one lifetime? Because we all get the doubt, right? Looking at our sadhana, I mean, it's definitely not possible to go back to Krishna in this lifetime. That's our thinking. What do you say, Abhi? Abhi is saying, I don't know. Yeah, even I don't know. You're right, I don't know. So then somebody asked Prabhupada, is it possible to go back to Krishna in one life? Prabhupada said, why not? Not only once. You can go back to Krishna multiple times, 100 times. So Prabhupada meant to say that you can go to Krishna, come back here with a purpose to liberate others, again go back, spend some time with Krishna in Gola Vrindavan, and then again come here, liberate other souls. Like that, you come here on a mission, like an empowered soul, like Prabhupada himself. You come here as an empowered soul to liberate others, like a sadhu. Yeah. So that was chapter 12, and that is where we discussed where we discussed about Krishna's greatness and sweetness, and that's when you joined, right?
When it was like finished.
Yeah. So
I actually joined right after when the question was posted in the WhatsApp
in the group, right? Yes, correct. Yeah. So yeah, so we all had lengthy discussion about the sweetness and greatness of Krishna. Okay. And then we concluded chapter 12. Okay, Bhakti Yoga. Now we need to jump on to Jnana Yoga. So before jumping on to Jnana Yoga, should we talk about Sthita Prajna? Naresh, bro?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, because that could itself take half an hour to 45 minutes. It is 7:20 now. So either we can continue with the chapter 13 or we can discuss about Sthita Prajna.
Do you want all of the devotees to be there?
Okay, I'll postpone for next.
Next week?
Yeah. I'm not
Okay.
prepared. I forgot about it.
Okay. Sure. So we'll come back to Sthita Prajna state next week. So now chapter 13.
What's the meaning of Sthita
Yes.
Prajna?
Sthita Prajna means remaining steady in both disturbed and undisturbed situations. Like remaining steady in happy and distress. Remaining happy, remaining steady in heat and cold. Remaining steady even in provoked situations. Like if your wife, starts arguing with you, having a fight with you. If you keep your calm, then you are Sthita Prajna.
Really, this is directed more towards the activities or the instances that are happening in our day-to-day life, which is related to like materialistic, because in a spiritual sense, for example, if I remember correctly, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went for his initiation, but it was not needed, but then he went there. He constantly experienced ecstasy. You know? So will that be considered Sthita Prajna? Because there he's experiencing the ecstasy and he's taking it all in. And when we are there in the temple and when we're chanting, we're obviously very happy. The emotion is expressed.
Yeah.
So in that sense, this Sthita Prajna, I would call it like a tap. It's a tap. It's not easy. You have to inculcate it in a very difficult manner. So to achieve that state, it is focused more in your materialistic life or both spiritual and material.
See, Sthita Prajna is a quality of a self-realized person. Okay. Now that self-realized person, they can be in the material world as a Jivan Mukta or in the spiritual world. So obviously in the spiritual world, everyone is a self-realized person. And naturally they'll have all the qualities of a self-realized people. Sthita Prajna is one of those qualities. So in the material world, you can practice the qualities of Sthita Prajna person. Qualities of Sthita Prajna state. Okay, Sthita Prajna is a state. And if a person has certain symptoms, then you say that person is Sthita Prajna person. Like person who is peaceful, steady, calm, not agitated, and his senses are under control. Okay, and he's always tolerant, forgiving, tolerant, humble. There are several qualities. Qualities are symptoms. Then we call that person as Sthita Prajna. So that itself is a practice. That itself is a practice. Even one quality, being mind control, these are all, qualities of Sthita Prajna state. That itself is a big bhakti yoga, practice. Even one of the qualities itself is a big thing. If you take mind control or becoming tolerant, or being steady in a provoked situations, that itself is a big thing.
Right.
Yeah, each one of them is a big things. So you practice them before you become self-realized. That means in the material world.
Correct.
These are the things to practice in the material world. Yeah.
Okay.
Because material world is like a laboratory to practice Atma Tattva, the theoretical knowledge of I am not this body, I am the soul. This material world is a laboratory to practice that and get wisdom out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a story. I think it's very good question, and even for me also got mesmerized. Mesmerized with the the question and then knowledge. Like one example is Sri Chaitanya Prabhu, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he expressed ecstasy, right? So for me, I felt those are the ways for us to lead our life. So Sthita Prajna state is again, it's like no sorrow, no happiness, mundane stuff again. So this is very, I think when it comes to the, should we be Sthita Prajna state as described in Bhagavad Gita, like, something happens, you stay calm, then I was going to distract me. Or, what is the right path, right? Because devotion involves emotion.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where I found this is a very tough one for me, I felt. But when I read this story, when Parvati tests Rama, so I can read this story. I think first I will read it and then I'll share my takeaway. Right.
So is it this story when Rama was searching in the forest for Sita, and then Parvati gets a doubt that is he really the supreme because he's searching for Sita like a beggar on the street. So let me disguise as Sita and test.
Yeah.
Then Lord Shiva warns her, saying that Uma, don't take a chance. He's my worshipable supreme Lord, so don't even take a chance. But then Parvati Devi, she goes and she appears in front of Lord Rama.
I can read the.
And then Lord Rama asks her,
okay.
Devi, where is your husband? Devi, where is your husband?
So I will read this
She's humble.
small paragraph. I think that is
the same story.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to read? Okay. We can read together.
Where do I start?
Come sit here. We start here together. Okay.
Where?
Yeah. Shiva and Parvati
Louder.
Once decided to leave their home
on
on Mount
Kailash and find out what was happening on earth. Their journey took them along river banks, over mountain tops, through valleys.
No, let him read.
Okay.
Because on the online, it will echo.
Through valleys and plains and dense jungles. Once, while they were walking through a thick jungle, the goddess saw two strangers walking hurriedly in their direction. They were both dressed up in simple robes with no finery. Parvati thought they were hermits who were living in the jungle. But when they came closer, he realized they each carried a bow and had a quiver full of arrows straight to their backs. Both the men appeared to be very nervous and tense. However, they stopped when they saw Shiva and Parvati and bowed respectfully before hurrying off. What surprised the goddess was that Shiva had also responded to the strangers' greetings. In the same reverential manner. Now Parvati was truly confused. She turned to Shiva and asked, "Dear Lord, why did you bow to two simple hermits?" Shiva laughed and replied, "My dear wife, they are not simple hermits. That was Rama and his brother Lakshmana, and Rama is none other than Vishnu, who has taken birth on earth. Shiva then acquainted her with Sita and Rama and Sita's abduction by Ravana, the demon king of Lanka. Lord Rama is now searching for her. He said he is completely devoted to his wife. He said Parvati expressed her doubt about this, but if he is Vishnu, as you say, finding Sita should be easy for him. Why go through so much trouble? Are you certain about this? Part came the reply from Shiva. Why don't you test him and find out for yourself? Instantly, Parvati disguised herself as Sita and set off to find Rama. She had not gone far when she saw Rama. She quietly walked up to him. Parvati was confident that he would not be able to see through her disguise. Rather, he would overjoyed to see his beloved wife. But Rama greeted her with reverence. O Mother Parvati, why do you grace with my presence alone?
With your presence alone.
With presence alone. Why did Shiva not come as well? Parvati was astonished. She was also rather embarrassed. Forgive me, O Lord. I did not believe my husband's words about your real identity. I decided to check myself. She said, Rama just smiled gently and said, Oh, great goddess, I am just a mere mortal doing my duty. There is nothing to apologize for. You honor me with presence. Parvati bowed and took leave. Soon he and Shiva went back to Mount Kailash. There Shiva narrated the Parvati to the entire story of Rama and his life in detail to Parvati. With rapt attention, the goddess heard the story section in the knowledge that Vishnu indeed had taken birth as Rama to vanquish evil demon Ravana and save the world. Little monk's Parvati wisdom tree.
So this was helping me to absorb the should we be in a Sita Prajna state, or should we go through certain emotions in life, right? The Rama, Lord Rama, he's showing the, if you see the choice of words, right? He, even for Parvati, he looked troublesome, worrying, wandering everywhere, running everywhere in a very nervous state, right? So like in Sita Prajna, typically we don't expect that, something happens to your beloved one, but this is what he's telling us. I think 2 ways to see here. Either you can be calm, right? No, nothing happened. If you lose somebody very close to you, sure. Or some, I think this story it is telling me is you can express. You can express. But now you see, when Parvati comes to test Lord Rama, then he reaches Sita Prajna state where he can see through everything. So again, it's Leela, his Leela. But so I think we need to hit a balance between a Sita Prajna and also expressing emotions for love, because love is again great element of Krishna. So 2 are required, but depending on the situation. For when Parvati comes to test Rama, he shows the Sita Prajna state. He knows what he is doing, right? But when he is expressing his love for Sita, he is showing he's worried. looks like he's troubled. So 2 states we have to hit in the life, depending on the situation. I think that's where I felt my mind was able to balance. So should I go through, because I've been reading the Sthita Prajna state for a long time, and then I've been also practiced so many several times. Again, wife scolds you, right, for a reason, right? You stay calm. Sometimes maybe you can think further to see express love. Some places are required. I think that's my takeaway. Prabhuji, you can definitely express how to hit the balance.
No, I think not a question. He wanted to share this story and how he got inspired.
So that there was a question that he wanted to answer.
Yeah, his main thing is like, do we need to remain constant like a
state,
or show the emotions, or is it okay to show the emotions?
Yeah, that's the question. Yeah,
That is the question.
That is the question.
Okay. So if that is a question, then see. So when Parvati appears in front of Rama, we cannot say that he was showing his Sthita Prajna state there. Okay, that's not the context there. He was showing, basically he was humbling Parvati. He was humbling Parvati by telling that, "Oh Devi, how come you are here? Why are you alone? Where is your husband? Where is Shiva, your husband?" So he was simply humbling Parvati Devi, saying that he knows that he is the supreme, and he knows where Sita is, and he knows that Parvati, who came disguising as Sita, is not actual Sita. So he knows everything.
So
he knows everything.
We know the truth. To the complete.
So there is also another story, like just before the abduction, Sita was given to Agni,
yeah.
And Maya Sita was taken away by Rama.
Yeah, that's where our mind gets also intrigued, right? Lord Ram knows Maya Sita, but he even deludes Parvati, who is very, Parvati can see through us, to the bottom of us, right? So, but but through Rama, even Rama can delude, because Lord Rama himself knows. But when we have to express again, but again, this can delude our minds also, right? Lord Ram knows that, but he's showing all his emotion. All these emotions are real. But so I don't know how these are operated, but this is what we try to understand deeper and lead our life in the same manner. Lord Rama.
I mean, I think
so it's a Leela, basically. See, first of all, nobody can abduct Sita Devi, but why Lord Ram let that happen, and also it's not Maya Sita actually. It's a real Sita only. So I know in the ISKCON version of
Maharaj also.
Yeah, in the ISKCON version of Ramayana, they talk about Maya Sita. It could be in a different time frame, a different universe, but Valmiki Ramayana does not talk about Maya Sita. Okay, so anyway, that's a different topic. So it's a Leela, basically. It's a Leela. Lord Ram, why he let Sita to be abducted, and why he started searching for Sita Devi, and why he took help of monkeys. He doesn't need to take help of monkeys. So, see, Lord Ram is residing in the heart of Ravana. With a simple thought, he can give a heart attack to Ravana and make him kill. And he can kill him, right?
The process needs to be followed.
Yeah.
Krishna has time and time expressed this, that although he's not bounded by any rules or regulations.
Yeah.
But even though he will still follow it. For example, when Lord Ram, he kills I forgot the king, the name of the king.
Wali.
Yeah. And he kills him from hiding behind a tree. Then in the next birth, the Krishna is then killed by the tribal man while he was hunting. Then he says that because I killed you in the previous birth, I am also, that was my karma. And now I have to repay the debt.
Yeah.
Although he is not bound by it, but he is still following the process. So in the same...
To set an example for common men.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's following.
So even before this will happen, Krishna already knew that, the Raman will be there, because he himself gave that kind of a blessing in disguise to Jay and Vijay to take the life and birth 3 times or 4 times, 3 times.
3 times.
3 times.
So he already knew and that, yes, this is going to happen, which is because, he's Krishna. But the process needs to go through. I think when Prabhuji earlier you asked, like, in matter of death, when someone dies close to you, and that at that point of time, are we supposed to show emotion or not, which is known as bilaf. There are 2 ways to, I think we can discuss that, or maybe Prabhuji can answer it, but I'll add my thoughts to it. Sthita Prajna is a state where the person is self-aware. Okay. Now, when we are self-aware, that means we have awareness of our body and of our soul. Now, if you're showing vilap, are you showing vilap for the soul or the body? If you're showing vilap for the soul, then Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita, there is no need, because soul is immortal. So then when something is, because soul cannot be killed or soul cannot die, when something's not dying, then who are you showing the emotion for? If you are showing the emotion for the body, that means you were in love with the body. Now that is something that you need to decide as a person, is that fine for you or not? If you are in a Sthita Prajna state, then that loss is not actually a loss for you. Then you already know that that person is going to be either going back to Golok or taking another life form.
No, I think the Sthita Prajna state, in my view, if you can make respect, but it's typically recommended for renounced everything, society. But if you, as long as you're a society, as a father or mother, so Rama is giving us the way. Lord Rama's life is not giving us, he knows everything. I can be just quiet and, then just,
See, as a parent, your emotions will be there. There is no doubt about it, because you need to correct your children. You need to nurture them. You need to show that emotion.
See, even Arjuna, after hearing Bhagavad Gita, he became self-realized, right? When his son died,
the vilap was there.
He cried.
Yeah.
He cried.
Yeah.
So I don't know, you need to have emotions.
Yeah. So it doesn't exclude the Sthita Prajna state. So in the process of life,
I think not.
Lord Rama's stories, we are allowed to express love for, but again, not fall down, cause chaos to the society. Because my son happened to him, or something, let's say somebody comes, accident, hits my son. So I'm going to create just a hunt their life to death. That is the wrong way.
I don't know. So depends, I guess.
So, but if you just express love there, you express the loss, and then again you pray to Krishna, and then you move your life. That's the Sthita Prajna. You express love, but you can move to Sthita Prajna state at the time.
To answer your question, Lord Rama, we should take an example like how to be a good son, how to be a good husband, how to be a good father.
Maryada Purushottam. That was his role.
Yeah.
In Rama Avatar, Maryada Purushottam.
Yeah.
He appeared as Rama to set an example as Maryada Purushottam. Yes. Ekapatni Vrata, all these are different attributes of that Maryada Purushottam. Yeah, go ahead, continue.
So we need to, to be a good human being, we need to get the, if you keep on hearing about Rama, how he did all these things, you will automatically get those things in qualities.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Sthita Prajna, this is about how materially attached you are. How do you behave in certain situations?
Yeah, exactly.
So can you remain calm in those situations? It could be day-to-day life, it could be in your professional, or it could be in your personal life.
Yeah.
how can you be steady?
Yeah.
Say, for example, if something kids do something wrong, so at that particular time we have to correct them.
Yeah.
So if you're closely attached, like Sthita Prajna, it's something like you should not be over attached to things or external situations. But again, if someone close to family dies,
Then
it is normal to cry.
Yeah.
But if you're still attached to them, keep on crying
For 2
Yeah.
years.
That's your closely attached.
Yeah.
Keep on weeping.
So we had hit the balance between those two states.
Their loved
But
one has passed away.
actually, if you, I mean, sorry, I didn't want. But if you don't cry, that's something wrong, right?
I
Yeah,
think so.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
It is.
no, we
That's
will
that's
develop that. I mean,
Krishna and they're giving us that life,
yeah,
right?
so
Yeah.
generally, right, I mean, at least like, I was not crying like when somebody is dying in the family also. And so I was thinking myself that something is bad, right? In the sense. So, I mean, you hear, after hearing like Bhagavad Gita, you know that, okay, it's the soul. At least I didn't know before that, like, soul and is separate and stuff like that, right? What I'm saying is like, after you hear that, okay, person died, that means like, the soul has left the body and then gone. So I may not be that sad, right? But sometimes when I think, maybe I'll cry, right? Some of the things that I had bonded with or stuff like that. I think it is absolutely okay to
Yeah,
be
that's
sad.
that's
It's
my
okay
take
to
on
have those emotions and cry when
Yeah.
somebody
How can you not?
dies.
Yeah.
It's best to
But-
let go of emotions. Like some point of or the other, if you like keep your emotions to yourself, sometime or the other you'll get burst out. Maybe not now, sometime in the future. Right, those emotions can if you keep them for yourself, you might turn that emotion into something else. Like you can get angry over a small thing some other person did to you. So yeah.
Yeah. So this topic of Sthita Prajna is explained in second chapter, 2.54 onwards. So Arjuna asks, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadir kim prabhasheta kimasita rajeta kim. Arjuna asks, what are the symptoms of a Sthita Prajna person? How does he walk? How does he sit? How does he speak? So Arjuna asks. Then Krishna, in the next set of verses, 6-7 verses, Krishna explains how he's going to sleep now.
Yeah. It doesn't do anything.
He's becoming Sthita Prajna. So then Krishna explains how a person speaks. How a person speaks means it's not like how is his voice or whether his voice is beautiful or not. It's not that point there. How a person speaks means how a person responds in provoking situations, in disturbed situations. When there are situations that are disturbing in one's life, how does that person respond? And Arjuna asks, how does he walk? How does he walk means it's not like Arjuna wanted to know what is the body language while he's walking. How does he walk means how does he engage his senses? How does he engage his senses? Even Sthita Prajna person, self-realized person, he's still living in the material world. He has to engage his senses. But there's a difference in how a normal person engages his senses and a self-realized person engages his senses. So Arjuna wanted to know that aspect. Just like how an ordinary person cries when there's a loss of death and how a Sthita Prajna person cries. Ordinary person may cry for 2 years, as you said.
Yeah, people, I'm telling you, I have friends.
Yeah.
And like Krishna bless their souls, their father has passed away.
Yeah.
And it's been now more than 10 years.
Yeah.
And they still post on their Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, this and that. I mean, okay, you love your dad, it's fine. Post positive things about your father then.
Yeah.
Instead of
post things that are inspiring to others.
Correct. When my father was alive, this is what inspired
he was so compassionate, those things. You can write those things. So So that's what Arjuna is asking. How does a Sthita Prajna person walk? How does he engage his senses? Or how does he cry versus how does an ordinary person cry? And how does he sit? How does he sit means, how does he withdraw his senses? And Krishna gives an example of a tortoise. Tortoise, just like tortoise withdraws the limbs when not in use, so that it's protected from the praise. It's protected from the praise, from the wild animals. When they look at only the shell and there are no legs and hands, that means that wild animal might think, oh, that it's only a rock. And then the wild animal might go away. So similarly, a Sthita Prajna person has to withdraw the senses, withdraw from the senses. He's not attached. Okay, he's not attached. He uses his senses, but he's not attached. There's a classic example or a story actually. Tukaram. Everyone knows Tukaram, right? He's a Sankirtanacharya from Maharashtra. Okay, so his wife had a horrible character. Like all the time she used to keep on arguing with Tukaram. Okay, fighting, arguing, not a favorable person. So one day there was nothing at home to eat. There was nothing at home for Tukaram's wife to prepare or to feed Tukaram. Then the wife asked Tukaram, can you go and fetch some money so that we can buy some groceries and I can cook something and feed you. Then Tukaram goes out and he earns some money. And then on the way back home, he meets some people, some beggars or some people. And then he donates some things to them. And then in the end, he comes back home with one sugar cane. Okay, a piece of sugar cane. And then looking at that, the wife gets even more angry and mad. And then she takes that sugar cane and hits hard on his head. She hits such hard that it breaks into two pieces. Now imagine, sugar cane is very hard. Now hitting on a person's head and causing it to break into two pieces, she must have hit really, really very hard. Now there he shows Sthita Prajna quality. He does not get angry. He says, oh, there are two pieces now. You take one, I take one. Anyway, we have to break. To eat sugar cane, anyway, we have to break it. So you take one, I'll take one.
Yeah, that's very highly needed.
And then he goes into the mandir room in his home. And then he says, hey Vittal, hey Rukmini Devi, thank you for giving such a wife so that I'm not attached to these worldly relations. And I'm always attached to the lotus feet of Rukmini and Vittal. So it's a true story. True story in Tukaram's case. Yeah. So he shows Sthita Prajna quality there.
So it's can be said that it is a state where we don't allow actions of others to drive our emotions.
Yes, and that is one.
Negative way. Negative way. Cause distress to others.
Yeah, but because we have to be sane in distress and happiness, so it has to be both ways. It cannot be just negative only.
Yeah, so we should not be disturbed, basically.
Yeah.
Our
emotions should not be the driving force behind our actions, and others' actions should not drive our emotions. We need to express emotions in the right amount at the right time.
Yeah. And it's a package. It's a big package. Sthita Prajna state, it's a big package. There are many qualities.
Correct.
For example, mind control, sense control, forgiveness. See, Tukaram, he forgave his wife. In that case, any other person, would get angry, and mad at the wife and, takes revenge, right? So, or he might even take a sword and chop her head off.
Go to Golok.
Yeah, and liberate her. So, but he showed the quality of forgiveness there. Okay, tolerance, forgiveness, sense control, mind control, so many things. It's a package. It's a package full of all these qualities.
Yes, that is what I'm trying to probably ask or maybe say, like in different situations. For example, may the Lord bless me that I have Sthita Prajna state and my wife bashes something on my head. Although I'm single, but still, let's just imagine.
Yeah.
I remain calm in that situation. Okay, which is when people will say, "Oh,
suppose you remain." You are saying, suppose you remain.
Allegedly.
Suppose you remain calm.
Now, at the same time, let's say that we are doing Jagannath Rath Yatra. And during the Rath Yatra, some outsider comes and hits Naresh Prabhu.
Yeah.
In that state, I don't want to be calm.
And you should not be.
Right?
Yeah, you should not be.
Then it is not Sthita Prajna.
It is Sthita Prajna.
No, in that state, if I'm not defending my fellow devotee brother, or if I'm not defending my dharma, that is not Sthita Prajna. If I'm defending it, then it is Sthita Prajna. Or which part is or not? See, the same incident, if it happens to you, how you respond. That is what defines whether you are in Sthita Prajna state or not. If it's happening directly to me, I'll probably stay calm. Yeah, then you are Sthita Prajna. But if it's happening to Naresh Prabhu, then I will not stay calm. No, you're not staying calm, but still you are Sthita Prajna. Yeah, that's what I was pointing. You're still Sthita Prajna because a devotee can tolerate and forgive mistakes and offenses committed to themselves, but not to the other devotees. Yes, but not to Krishna and to other devotees. If somebody is blaspheming Krishna, saying that Krishna is impersonal, Nirgun, Nirakar, then you should not keep quiet. Yeah. If you're keeping quiet, then you're actually insulting Krishna also. Correct. So if you are not responding when somebody hurts him, then you are still in Sthita Prajna state and you are exhibiting devotee quality there. Yeah.
And you exhibit those qualities. When you're out of that situation, those impressions should not come to your mind. It should not degrade your devotion service. Let's say it should only uplift you. Even to when somebody hit me, right, come to defend me, you are taking action, but when the action is over, so it should be only able to lift you, not make you fall down. Like let's say, I helped Naresh Prabhuji. I got you. Ended up technically sharing. Yeah, exactly.
I should not brag.
Exactly.
Oh, that is
yeah. So, but it is not easy.
First of all, if he did not respond when somebody hurts him, that means he is Sthita Prajna. So definitely he will not do anything. He will not do anything that harms his own devotional practice. Yeah. So yeah, it's a big package full of all these good qualities.
And
forgiveness,
a lot of constraints and limits and limitations.
So for example, Draupadi, right? When Ashwatthama killed the 5 sons, everybody, including Krishna, everybody, all the Pandavas, Krishna, everybody, they decided to punish Ashwatthama. They decided to kill Ashwatthama. But Draupadi said, no, because as a mother, I lost 5 sons. And now I know the pain of a mother. Now, if we kill Ashwatthama, I know how much his mother would suffer. So let's forgive him. So that is also Sthita Prajna state. Yeah.
And what about this, Prabhuji? Draupadi, like when they kill the Dusyadumna, what is the Kauravas, right? Dusyadumna, the bad guy, or okay. Sorry. And then she'll only get satisfied when the blood is put on her hair. do we I don't know what does Krishna accept those? It can be called at least in our daily life extremism.
So
I know you can.
I don't know
you
if
can
that
punish
is
them back, but
that is true story or
it's made up of it.
I don't know. Yeah, most likely it's a made up of one.
Okay, because
because in
in
Bhagavatam,
movies or somewhere they showed the blood. In movies, I think, in the blood comes out and puts on Draupadi's hair, and then Draupadi gets satisfied, and then
aired on TV.
Yeah.
That's
So
where
definitely Draupadi is not
pratigya that my hair will stay
unless
open,
my hair is
then, unless there are drinking blood or something.
Yeah. No. See, when her own children are killed, and then she forgave Ashwatthama, why will she ask for
this is
her
the
hair to be?
problem.
I think it's the other way. I mean, it seems like she took a vow saying that she won't die until, when he dies, basically when the Shehan dies, that's when she would use the blood to do it. It's not that she is wanting him to be killed or so, as such, when he dies off. So then she says, then I'm back to
then I tie my hair.
Exactly. That's
actually
how it was.
Yes, he's right,
because she was dragged by hair.
Yeah.
In the assembly, she was dragged by hair.
I think as per the, if I'm not probably not 100% correct, but as per the Shastras or Vedas, open hair is a sign of either remorse or a sign of revenge. That is why it is always emphasized that your shikha should always be tied. You should not keep your shikha open, because that either don't indicate that you're in remorse, some kind of, like maybe death in the family or something, or you're on a path of revenge, just like Chanakya. When Chanakya was insulted in the king's court, he never tied his shikha back.
Yeah, they removed the shikha.
Yeah, that is so that's what the correct thing is.
Yeah.
Because some of the non-devotees, when I get deluded because they show it. I never read. I didn't read the Mahabharata. Maybe I take it as for granted, and I get deluded as well. Even think of the non-devotees. They once they see these kind of things, right? This is too much extremism. The way they show in the serials, too emotional, too extremism, and then non-devotees they say, "Oh, is this Mahabharata? Is this what we worship?" And they walk away.
It's there.
Let's see online they
can take what they want, if they're concentrating on that part. I mean, then it's their vision. Because in Mahabharata also there are so many good things happening. The brothers are, following the eldest brother despite all the difficulties. That is also there. Then Krishna himself is there, giving the guidance.
Today I was talking to one of the friend, soccer, right? So he staying away from the spirituality because he came across these kind of glimpses several times. So that he basically stood away for years.
Give him prasad. That's what Prabhupada always did.
Yeah. So people online, Swati, Venugopal, Aparna, Vinanad. You all have anything to say on Sita Prajna topic?
Nothing much to add on. I'm trying to learn how to be one such person amidst turbulence. So
come on, Sirisha is such a nice wife for you.
No, I mean,
you don't have an opportunity to practice Sthita Prajna at home. You have to rather go to a workplace and
life otherwise is taking care of that.
When someone's cutting it.
Yeah.
Or when in the lane of 65, someone's driving at 50.
Yeah.
One day when I was driving, like somebody 65 or something, age of 65 lady, she's showing expression.
Driving is the best place to these days.
But Vinana, even though you don't practice this at home, but I'm sure you are knowledgeable. So maybe you can share a few points.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know if I'm really that qualified to talk about this, because I struggle a lot with controlling my emotions when there's a lot of turbulence going around me. It doesn't have to be necessarily coming from domestic this, but like I told, life is taking care of, life is making sure that I'm facing enough challenges. So trying my best to hold this. But one thing I would like to say is, ever since I started chanting, I am able to see the difference, that I'm able to handle situations in a much better way. Like I don't want to call myself Sthita Prajna, but at least I found I found through experience what is true in Bhagavad Gita, saying that you have to tolerate. Just like the seasons change, the way you tolerate the seasons, you just have to tolerate. So tolerance is the only way to ride through difficult times. So at times I really get frustrated and angry, but at least I don't show it out. I try to tolerate it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Krishna says, you cannot do anything other than tolerating. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukadukada agamapaino nityaha tam stitikshasva bharata. Arjuna, you cannot do other than just tolerating. Learn to tolerate. There's no other option.
The one thing I have seen that helps me the most and staying, even I wouldn't say that I'm Sthita Prajna, but that has helped me is just to that small incident that's happening right now in my life. Yeah. I try to just see my whole life in front of me, and that as a small incident in my life that is happening right now. And that gives me some kind of tolerance, like you're saying, that that little bit of tolerance comes almost instantaneously, that okay, this incident will pass, and when this incident will pass, I'll be a much stronger and a better person. And I've seen over a period of time, I have just 2 days back, I was in an emergency department. I was calm, very calm, handling the situation. I was focused. I wouldn't have been that way 10 years back. Okay. So it just helps to understand that life is this big, and this incident is just this very little, blurb in that big life that we have. Yeah. So that helps me with this, with that aspect. Tolerance and forgiveness are all those attributes that even I think we learn in Navratri. Each day is trying to teach us one different virtue. Yeah. Trying to get to Sthita Prajna. I think that's the ultimate goal. That getting all of those valuables, knowledges of forgiveness, of being, to have that tapasya element in you, to have to stay focused and to forgive, and those different devis that that are trying to teach us different things are helping us come to a state where we are Sthita Prajna. I think that is what Navratri teaches me.
Yeah, beautiful. Especially the point that you mentioned, right? If you consider this incident being small and significant compared to 70, 80 years of your life.
Yeah.
And this too shall pass.
Yes.
Say,
because
right?
that is something that my friend told me in college, and I thought that I wish I knew that a little sooner. Yeah. Last minute of the college, she's telling me this. I'm like, why didn't you tell me this before? Life would have been so much easier. Yeah. I mean, just that sentence of hers made me feel like, oh, suddenly that stress has gone from the top of my head. Yeah. That I don't have to focus about this minute. Now, anything subsequently that happens after that, it had been a lot more easy to tolerate. So that has helped me tremendously up until now, since that learning that I had, that a college friend just, very nonchalantly just said something like that. But that was a learning of my life that helped me greatly.
Yeah, you can become even more tolerant if you extrapolate that example you gave, right? That the small incident is insignificant in the span of my 70, 80 years of life. If you just extrapolate that, your life, this current life is like a mustard seed on the time infinity of your, of your spiritual journey.
Yeah, and the other thing that has helped me very recently is like when with the classes that we have been going through is having that element of that, okay, in the past life you would have done something that you're repaying now.
Yeah.
So that unknown, even if it is unknown, even if we don't believe in it, there is an element of unknown that we are, if somebody is being mean to us, it's probably that we are quite kind of repaying it.
Yeah.
And with that repaying element, that okay, this is something that the tables have turned in this life. So that also alleviates that pressure on us, that okay, we need to stay calm, so that we don't accumulate bad karmas. And if we don't accumulate bad karmas, we are sthita prajna.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, we are cause of our own suffering or our own pleasure in this material world. We are the
Sometimes we don't know from our past lives what we have done. So just having that, just turning the table, that probably we have done something, and we just need to stay calm so that we'll let this incident pass.
Yeah. So if you're not able to trace the reason, the root cause and reason for our suffering, it's definitely ours coming back from past lives.
Yeah, and we have done our best. We have also done our best to remedy the situation. Sometimes situations cannot be remedied.
Yeah.
So that's probably a past karma.
Yeah. And sometimes we get suffering directly from Krishna. May not be from our own karma, but if you are so sincere on this path of bhakti, Krishna gives you suffering to test you, to test your faith.
Not suffering, obstacles.
Not obstacle, suffering. Krishna gives suffering. He gives suffering. And that type of suffering, you'll be able to trace it to an immediate immediate action that you have done in the recent times.
The
root cause, you'll be able to.
Like, okay, yeah, this happened because I did that.
Because I did this. For example, let's say we, knowingly or unknowingly, we gossip about a devotee in the temple. We unnecessarily do a bad mouth about that temple. We tell to another person saying that, oh, so and so person is like this. He always, he boasts that he chants 64 rounds, or something like that. You unnecessarily unnecessarily gossip about somebody. Then Krishna, looking at your sincerity on the path of bhakti, if you are sincere, he immediately teaches you a lesson by giving you some suffering in your life. And now you will be very, very clearly, you will be able to trace it out, saying that, oh, because of my this recent immediate action, I'm suffering.
Correct.
And Krishna is giving that because you are sincere on the path of bhakti. Krishna doesn't want you to carry this for a long time. Yeah. He wants you to, burn that immediately and learn a lesson and get more purified. But the things that we are not able to trace, the root cause and the reason why we are suffering, they are definitely from past life. Yeah. And Krishna creates those situations in such a way that you cannot figure out why they are happening in your life like that. If you are able to figure out, then probably there is a solution. There is a solution, and you can take that situation easily. But if you are not able to figure out why it is happening in your life, then that is when you inquire about God. Why it is happening to me? What have I done? I haven't done anything in this life, but still why it is happening to me? So then we start inquiring about God. Then Brahma Jignasa starts. That's when. So yeah, that's a good
point. That's also a good point, Prabhuji. Like, even in my my experience 2 years back, I was in a lot of pain. And then I inquired, okay, if it is not something that I've done, then what is God trying to teach me? And as soon as I started looking at this problem that I wasn't able to deal with from that perspective, that what is God trying to teach me through this?
Yeah.
the way I started looking at the problem itself shifted. And when that happened, then I started looking at solutions very differently. It wasn't quick fixes. I started looking at solutions very differently. So
Yeah, you don't get frustrated.
that helped me through that pain.
Yeah.
So yeah. So as soon as I started inquiring, God has given me this because He has some critical message for me. He wants to teach me something very important that people around me might not understand. Maybe I'm the messenger for that message for the people around me. And that turned out to be true.
Yeah.
That after coming out of that situation, I was the one who was training everybody around me. And that was the message that I got, that, okay, this was probably why I was the one who's dealing.
Yeah. Good. You're speaking from your realizations. Very good.
Yes, a lot of them.
Yeah, very good.
About me, this idea is Krishna gives suffering. I cannot take it because my mind is so much used to Krishna is very merciful.
Krishna is merciful. That's why he's giving you suffering. Otherwise, when will you get purified? Yeah.
Because I feel like my own avidya is source of suffering. And
Krishna is merciful. That's why he's giving
If
suffering.
it can get me closer to Krishna. But my mind always trained. Krishna is very merciful. It's our own avidya that gives us suffering.
But with that suffering, Krishna also gives the ability to tolerate that and come out of that. And you will.
Mother Kunti was asking for all.
Yeah.
So that she can remember
Krishna only when there is a calamity. Yeah.
I'm not asking for it, just to clear the air.
Disclaimer. Otherwise, Krishna is hearing.
Yeah. I'm not asking.
He might sanction tadastu.
Whatever gets me closer to you, no.
No, it's okay.
Not
I'll
now.
find other paths.
Not now. Not now. Not now.
So it's okay. That's still
your suffering hasn't started.
Disclaimer. No, I don't know.
Full disclosure.
It was someone else who's asking. I'm just a point of reference.
Okay, Aparna, you have anything to share?
Sure, I can share something. I think I agree with Swati Mataji and Veena Prabhuji saying that Sthiti Pragya, I'm definitely not there. But what I understood is like from one of the lectures I heard that it's like lotus is in the muddy water, but it never gets dirty. That's how you are supposed to be, where everything is bad and good is happening around you, but you are not affected by that. And unfortunately, if you're a sensitive person, that's not going to work, right? If bad things are happening, you will feel bad, and if good things are happening, it's good. But what I have learned through the Krishna consciousness is that if something really happy happens in my life, I have to realize that what, this is temporary. So don't get too attached with it, don't get too happy where you're forgetting your where you're from, and don't get involved in that. And when it's very sad also, realizing that this is a temporary, this is not going to be forever. And I have to kind of bring that solace that Krishna is always there, even if most of the time we're not ready to feel him. You feel like how Prabhu was saying that, oh, sometimes I feel like Krishna is not as merciful, or it's very hard when you're suffering. It's very hard to think, oh, Krishna is merciful and he's giving me this. It's very hard to see the other end of the tunnel. But you have to just realize that if Krishna wishes to give, then he won't stop. But if he doesn't want anything to happen, then he will not let that happen either. So really just keeping full trust is, I think, is something I learned, that okay, what, if something really bad is happening, now I have like a backup plan. I have Krishna as my, okay, I can just leave it up to him. So before I would be like, oh my god, what am I going to do, who's going to fix this? But now, even if sometimes it feels like blind faith, I feel like, what, I will leave my worries to him. He will take care of it. That's not my headache, it's his headache. Krishna will take care of that, and leaves a lot of it makes me feel light. So I feel most through the prajna when I know that I can leave that that big 10 kilos on my head, I can leave it to someone else.
Yeah.
That makes me feel Sthita Prajna.
Okay. Yeah, that's a beautiful point. Yeah. So we don't feel the unnecessary weight of the problems. The problem may not be as big as what we think most of the times, but we give a lot of weightage to the problems, and we carry them. We carry the load all the time. Yeah. Okay, that's good. Venugopal, you have anything to share?
Yeah. So at least I understood that I am not a Sthitapregna. And at least, I am, most of the time I usually think on future. So why this will happen to me, and why even after trying this much, why this is not actually coming on my way. So at least I'm trying to understand, I need to stop thinking of too much about future. Then maybe I'll just start how to become Sthitapregna. So that's what I'm trying. I understand.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically not being elated or not being depressed in happy and sorrow situations.
Yes.
So if we can practice that.
To test your Sthitapregna state. I think everybody in life go through those transitional Sthitapregna states.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you want to test fully established, then you evaluate your weak points. I know my weak points. My father-in-law can really trigger it.
The provoking situations, not big provoking situations.
Yeah. So I know where my buttons are.
So as they say,
one at least with you.
the test of a great person is in a provoking situation.
Yeah.
When everything is calm, everybody can control their mind. Everybody can keep their senses under control. Everybody can be a Sthita Prajna very easily. Only when there is provoking situation, how a person responds. That is the test of a great person.
Yes, I have to go to India sometimes when I feel too overconfident.
You can call him. You don't have to go to India. You can call him. You can call him. Video call him. You can video call him.
What is the starting point to come to that line at least?
Starting point. See, I talked about different qualities, right? Different qualities in this big package of Sthita Prajna. Forgiveness, tolerance, being steady, and then mind control, sense control, all these things. So the starting point is sense control, because that's the hierarchy. Krishna tells in chapter 4 and 5, what's the anatomy and hierarchy of the senses, mind, intelligence, false ego, and the soul. Okay, the hierarchy is senses at the lowest level. Above senses is the mind, and above mind is intelligence. Above intelligence is false ego, and then higher than false ego is the soul. So if you are looking for a starting point to control yourself, so sense control, your 5 senses, and among those 5 senses, the taste. Okay,
the Ekadashi would help.
Yeah, taste, like controlling too much eating, or controlling the desire of eating palatable dishes, controlling the desire to eat too much spicy, too much bitter, too much pungent type of food. So basically focus on your sense control. Most importantly, start with food, taste, control.
So, good question. So is the tongue mainly for that, or like, you talk? Right?
Yes, that is also.
That is what you need to control.
Yeah. So Krishna tells in, I think 18th chapter, Anudvega Karam Vakyam, austerities of speech. Austerity of speech. How one person should speak. How they should speak the truth. Even though the truth is very harsh, it should be spoken in a pleasing way. And whenever somebody speaks, it should not be agitating the other person. We can see some people, right? Even to explain a normal scenario, even to talk about a normal incident, they'll be agitating the other person. That's their nature. But that should be changed. So that's the austerity of speech. Yes, both speech and taste. Yeah. Okay, so it's 8:20. Hope you all had darshan in the temple. If not, you can rush like a Spider-Man or Superman and then be in the temple in 1 minute before the curtains close at 8:30. So, okay. Yeah, even I had darshan. But I'll still go again.
I don't have for a long time.
Okay. Today you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna. We'll continue next week.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.